Philadelphia Eagles fans of this channel, small channel, we need to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. I think it's necessary, especially how the season ended before the Super Bowl, because I want whoever wins this year to have their time. But also, I know I'm moving forward in a different direction. I need to provide some level of clarity now to be transparent and help people understand why I'm moving forward in a certain direction, along with why you haven't heard from me when it comes to Philadelphia Eagles football, starting with the last game of the season. Now, there's two parts to why. Let's just jump into it. I have no script for this thing whatsoever. I'm just going to just jump in and speak from the heart, hopefully not make this too long. End of the season, even during the season, a couple different things happened where I didn't feel right about the direction of our Philadelphia Eagles. Something felt really off. And I'm learning to trust my gut that much more. And I'm very straightforward and open, so here we go. So I loved the decision to bench Carson Wentz. Anybody that's seen this channel for a while know I'm not a Carson Wentz fan, because I sense something in that guy, the way that he plays, that is not, in my opinion, is not good for the team, and something that I just don't like. I'll explain more later, maybe. I think so, yeah, I'll explain more. But the last game of the season, I ran into some internet issues, which I'll explain another time, do it like a review. I used something called Bix Wireless, and my wireless internet went down, which was my primary at the time. But in a kind of weird way, I looked at that as a sign, because we just lost to Dallas. And it's never fun losing to Dallas. Playing against Washington, so really at the end of the season, Eagles play Washington, the Giants play Dallas. If we beat Washington, the winner of Giants and Dallas represents the NFC East with a losing record, sure, but represents the NFC East in the NFL playoffs. Our game is late, so we're gonna know the outcome of the Dallas Giants game prior to our start. So essentially, we know if we win against Washington, who will be going into the playoffs. Either we lose to Washington goes, we win, and then the winner of the Giants and the Cowboys go forward into the playoffs. And some of the reason why I love doing these videos is because it brings out cool things with people, some people that I've never met before, and they got to get to know, and some old friends. And I have a buddy, an old friend of mine I've known for like 20 years now, an old Navy buddy. My buddy Javier sent me a message in his Giant stuff, and I'll play it right now.
What's up, YouTube fam? Making this video at the request from my boy Will. I texted him earlier today, and I said, if the Giants beat the Cowboys today, I'm going to be the biggest Eagles fan. And my Giants took care of business against the Cowboys, beat them 23-19. So now, fly, Eagles, fly. Let's go, Birds.
Now, think about it. I mean, that's, to me, I love stuff like that, because, you know, I get to hear from a good old friend of mine that once in a while we find a way to eat dinner together and just share how life has been going for us. But then it's funny, like, it's a Giants fan, like Giants fans and Eagles fans. I wouldn't say we hate each other, like, in my opinion, we're both East Coast, Northeast Coast. If anything, all the NFC East hates the Cowboys, and then we have kind of like this brotherly or this cousin type relationship with like Washington and New York, where it's like, we're not necessarily fans, but we have like a level of respect. Giants fans, we don't respect the Eagles, whatever, like this level of respect, you know, and so he can make that kind of video and then tell you, you know, go screw yourself afterwards, you know, like, and it's all good, you know. And then we played the game. We played the game, and initially it looked, back and forth a little bit. I think we were winning, I want to say 14-10, but it's been a couple weeks. But then we had some calls, especially going for it on 4th down near the red zone. And, I know analytics plays a part in it. We don't necessarily have something to play for, but if we do win, it actually really affects another team, not just your draft picks, but it affects if they can even go to the playoffs or not. We almost converted, but then that's not even the biggest issue that I have with that game. The call to put in Nate Sudfeld and to almost throw the game. So I think we get, the 7th pick or so in the draft. Really bothered me. But not just for the sake of Nate Sudfeld. I mean, the guy came in, threw an interception, looked like garbage. We've kept him for a long time, but I'm still kind of wondering why. Because even last year when Carson Wentz got injured against the Seahawks, you didn't bring that guy in. You brought some 41-year-old McCown and with a jacked up hamstring, just wasn't good. And I'll be perfectly honest, it was embarrassing. As an Eagles fan, but also how I actually believe in myself. You always play to win. You never, ever, ever play to lose. Ever. There's never an excuse. So people are like, oh, well, you get a better draft pick. I don't care. If you start accepting losing in your mind, it's something that takes root and grows into something absolutely ugly and disgusting. And I hate it. I hate losing. More than I can explain on this video. And anybody that knows me knows I'm pretty much the most competitive person you'll ever meet, ever. So, making that call when Jalen Hurts is our best option at quarterback. Yes, I said that for a specific reason. Is our best option at quarterback. Hurt. Getting through all that, it's all right. That sucked, but we still have our future. We still have Dougie P, Jalen Hurts, and it seems like we tapped into something that we can build on, and the team's responding to, and we can feel good about going into next season, we're moving forward again. Because until that time, our season looked like garbage, absolute garbage, until Dougie P decided to put in Jalen Hurts against the Packers. It seemed like something came to life. And it seemed like we only built on that even more when we played New Orleans the next week. But then even the motivation to do this video and to what is to go forward after this, Doug Peterson was fired. It took me a second to process this because I already had to take some time to process through Nick Foles leaving. Us getting rid of Nick Foles. I said it before, I'll say it again, I'll stand by it all the time. A couple things I always say is I felt like we kept the wrong quarterback. I said that when we let him go. I wanted Nick Foles over Carson Wentz. And I predicted, yes, I say this at a time, I don't care. This is, if you go back to in my old videos, Week 1, 2012 against Cleveland Browns, and it's around, I think, minute either 2 or 3 or something like that. I predicted Nick Foles' greatness back then. I believed in it that much, and it came true. So yes, I'm very bullish on my thoughts on Nick Foles. But then also Dougie P. Looking at the history of what I remember going through. I mean, yes, I grew up in the Buddy Ryan era. The very small Rich Kotite, Ray Rhodes, then Andy Reid, Chip Kelly, to Dougie P. And knowing what I felt like, I love Buddy Ball, where he's regardless, Dallas is going to beat us. And, we had kind of an all-star team. We couldn't get over Dallas, but at the very least, if you're going to come to Philly, you're going to get punched in the face. We're going to play you hard. Right? Rich Kotite just wasn't a good coach, or, the Randall Cunningham injury happened, all stuff, whatever. Then Ray Rhodes brought back that fight, the Philly fight in our team. We had the game against Detroit, and Rodney Pete, and we went through this carousel even a little beforehand. Jim McMahon and Buddy Brister, all these weird quarterbacks and stuff. And we went through the 90s, which was a weird time. But Ray Rhodes brought back this level of stability and also drafted Brian Dawkins, and our defense started coming around again, and then it was handed off to Andy Reid. And we know what Andy Reid brought for like 14 years, and we went to 5 NFC Championship games. We went to the Super Bowl once and lost to the Patriots 24-21. And then we moved on to Chip Kelly, which the new age and analytics and all that mess like that, and thought that was going to be a home run hit and bring the Eagles forward into the future, and it just absolutely blew up in our face. And then we needed a reset, and we needed a coach that actually understood players. And who better than Doug Peterson? Because he used to play for us as a player, as a quarterback, and he understood the dynamics of team, but also he understood the dynamics of quarterback. Drafted Carson Wentz, brought Nick Foles in to back him up, which I said at the time, you can go back in my videos, and I said at the time, I thought that was a great move, the best move, the one I got most excited about, and I said it back then before the Super Bowl stuff happened for specific reasons. And he understood the whole dynamic, because think about it, Dougie P was the starting quarterback when he drafted Donovan McNabb. Without going too much history stuff, because I can go on forever because I know my Eagles history because I'm a real Eagles fan, which on the sidebar, I just can't stand knowing what the Eagles have turned into, especially knowing some people I know of this area that were Cowboys fans, and all of a sudden they turned to Eagles fans right after he won the Super Bowl, and just faking the funk. I can't. I'm a 700 level vet stadium Eagles fan. I can't stand that. I'll get through this video. Firing WP. This guy, to sum it up without going into all the history, maybe I'll do it another time, this guy brought us a Philly special. This guy helped pick up, he created a coaching staff, with Frank Wright obviously being a huge part of it, created a coaching staff that won us a Super Bowl, but also had the guts enough to win it. He didn't play it safe. That's the whole, the Philly special, I can't go into that. I'll probably get way too emotional and way too hyped before I gotta go work later on today anyway. The guy had the guts enough to call the Philly special, but not just to call it, to trust his player that he put in place in order for his player to say, hey, look, this is a team that can believe in this play, that will punch the best football dynasty that's ever played this game right in the mouth and say, we came here to win. We didn't come here to participate, we came to take over. Yes, Conor McGregor, I get it. We didn't just come here for a participation trophy. We want the whole stinking thing. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it our way. With a bunch of people that nobody wanted, the people that participated in the Philly special, undrafted free agents, and people that were on the street thinking about quitting it. And that's how we won. We won this city's first Super Bowl. Fourth championship, 1948, 1949, 1960, first Super Bowl trophy. To then round out the NFC East that has its own division where everybody at least has one Super Bowl trophy. I believe Washington has 3, the Giants have 4, Cowboys have 5. Yes, I know. Now my Birds have 1. But you force this Carson Wentz guy down our throats. Initially, it looks like a good pick. One behind Jared Goff. Has that great season. We're 10-2, playing against the Rams. 2017 season, MVP type season. He gets injured. Nick Foles comes in, wins Super Bowl. Lots of questions. Seems like that's haunting his mind. Question always is going to be, would have Carson Wentz led us to a Super Bowl victory, and would that have changed his career? We'll never know. But what preceded that is the next season, Nick Foles, Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles. Started the season because Carson Wentz was injured, but as soon as Carson Wentz was ready, Nick Foles voluntarily, in a way, sat back on the bench, right? And let Carson Wentz do his thing. Carson Wentz gets injured again. Nick Foles starts going on a run again. And if it wasn't for Alshon Jeffrey, the jar pass against the Saints, I believe we go back to Super Bowl and win again. That's what I believe, against the Patriots. And I believe win again. Yes, that's how I work. Oh, but guess what? That hurts Carson Wentz's feelings because now it looks like, Nick Foles has the hearts of the team, right? So what do? We ship Nick Foles off. Because Carson Wentz can't play with competition behind him. That's what I thought back then, right? So then we bring in Josh McCown. Carson Wentz goes through the season, doesn't get injured. Oh, maybe he's turning the corner. Then gets injured against the Seahawks in the playoff game that I was at. I went to a lot of these games, so that's why. And then we have this 40-year-old or 41-year-old guy hobbling around on one leg trying to get us a playoff victory because our guy got a concussion, Clowney hit him, whatever it might be, but still got injured. But we don't even have a backup that's like, guy tried his best. I'm not going to deny that whatsoever. I'm not here to bust on him. So what do the Eagles do? They go out in the second round and draft Jalen Hurts. This guy's a winner, right? He has faced adversity at Alabama. He had to go over to Oklahoma. And then the guy does nothing but say and do the right things and just move forward with whatever he's got. So this whole season looked like garbage. This whole season looked like absolute trash. And Carson Wentz was at the head of it. Whether take responsibility or not, he's at the head of it. There's some people, rightly so, even like the Jason Peters or something like that, that's going to support Carson Wentz because of the level of loyalty. I totally understand that, but it looks like absolute trash. And then what's going to happen, and I said this in my videos this year, a little bit more toned down because I felt like there was something off. We were the most sacked team in the league, and we looked like trash. And at one point, we're like 3-5-1 or something, like leading the trash NFC East. And we looked horrible. WP decides to put in Jalen Hurts because our season looks like it's dead anyway. And what happens? He comes in against the Packers. We're losing by like 3 scores or something like that. Next thing you know, this guy comes in on the 4th down. It's like, might as well just go for it. Greg Ward, touchdown. Defense starts stepping up, stops the Packers. They have to punt it away. And then Jalen Reagor returns a punt. It seems like there was a different gear there, and the whole team just started responding. And next thing you know, the Packers, which are playing in an NFC Championship game against the Bucks this weekend, maybe even right now, I don't know. It's weird when the Eagles aren't in it. I kind of like detach, but put them on the ropes. And then the most sacked team in the league, the Philadelphia Eagles, with their trash offensive line, plays against the New Orleans Saints, and WP's like, nah, screw it, Jalen Hurts is going to play. Let's see what happens. And you know what? How many sacks do the Saints have? Absolutely none. We beat them. Like the Saints, just got beat by Tom Brady, right? Which is, Tom Brady's Tom Brady. It's a whole recap of the season. You get what I'm saying. But now, we fired WP. There's rumors now that we're shopping Jalen Hurts. Harry Roseman is still there, and this is what Jeffrey Lurie wants? Yeah, I have a big problem with Carson Wentz. Yes, I do. Fact is, he can't respond under pressure when it comes to the people behind him. And I don't mix words whatsoever. If you're the best, you prove it all the time. Right now, I'm even studying Michael Jordan right now. You think, how many people come in to the basketball court and tried to say, even Scottie Pippen did, I'm going to take over Michael's spot. You know what he does? He goes out and proves it. He's like, if you want it, come get it. Instead, we got Carson Wentz. Oh, I have a little bit of competition in practice. Instead of me getting better, you gotta jettison him out. Oh, the coach thinks I'm trash. Instead of me getting better, so I'm not trash, so I don't hold on to the sticking ball, so I don't run into sacks all the time, and so I don't try to win everything on my own. Instead of me getting better, I have to go whine to management and get them to fire WP because he realizes something about myself, and he can see from the outside point of view. Instead of me getting better, I'm just gonna lower the field. So let's get rid of Jalen Hurts, just like we got rid of the Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles. Because it would take hard work to become better. I love every one of my Philadelphia sports teams. I do. I'm not a homer. There's a difference. A homer would just be like, oh, whatever, and go Eagles, blah, blah. Yeah, I always rock my Eagles stuff because I'm from Philly. This is like who I am. And I was an Eagles fan before Jeffrey Lurie got here. I'll be here after him. I'll outlive him. But I can call it like it is. And I don't agree with this direction. And at the same time, I don't agree with towing the company line kind of thing. It's not like they pay me anyway, so I'm not going to walk the Eagle company line. I think this is a garbage decision. Absolutely. And I'm kind of glad not to post it last week. And I don't think that it's beneficial to me or to this channel to fill it up with content on something that I don't believe in, along with what I'm going to do, sit around and just complain about all the moves that the Eagles are not doing. I kind of use sports and all this whole stuff as like a getaway to enjoy myself, not to feel like I'm in an organization or working in an organization that's choosing not to be the best they can be. I think this decision is one of the worst decisions my Philadelphia Eagles could make. I don't believe, and like I said, I don't mix words, I don't believe Carson Wentz has the heart to be the best, which is what I want. One thing I could say about all my older Eagles teams, like the Randall Cunningham, Reggie White, Jerome Brown, Seth Joyner, Wes Hopkins, Eric Allen, Keith Byers, Keith Jackson, Mike Quick, I can keep on going with all of them. Brian Dawkins, Jeremiah Trotter, Sheldon Brown, Leader Shepard, I'll throw them in there. John Runyon, Trey Thomas. I'll say D-Mac. He played a game on a broken foot against Arizona. I remember that game. I'll throw Tio in there because Tio wanted to win. I'm not going to take that away from him. Andy Reid, and we have had, and I know I'm missing some people, we've had a lot of people come through this city, through the Philadelphia Eagles. I didn't even go into the other sports, that had the heart to win. And now I believe Philadelphia Eagles just fired and got rid of two of the biggest hearts that showed this city the greatness we haven't seen in a long time. So this is probably my last Eagles video for a pretty long time until something significant changes. I'm always going to be an Eagles fan no matter what, but I do not support the decision of firing Dougie P and also releasing Nick Foles. So my channel's going to head in a different direction. Thanks for listening to my rant. It's how I feel. And let's go do something different. Have a good day.